When you can perceive this for yourself, that this body is not going to be there anymore, this mind is not going to be there anymore, all your relations, all your identities, all your possessions, everything will just come to an end. There will be a total discontinuity to your sense of self. When this becomes your realization, you choose your actions with great care. You really start looking at life in a new light. You too shall pass away, knowing this, how can you quarrel? Buddha has emphasized again and again on death because he knew deep down that human beings are shit scared of death. Haven't you noticed it around yourself? If you start talking about death, people simply ask you to rather shut your mouth or to talk about some good things. Because as a society, we have concluded death as a really terrifying experience. And a person who talks about death, we have concluded that person as a pessimistic person. So this perspective has to totally change. In order to understand Buddha, we have to embrace death rather than running away from it. Why? Because when we embrace death, a radical transformation takes place in our being at a very subtle level. The things that we value in life right now, they go through total change. Our whole energies go through a shift. Right now we are valuing the trivial stuff of life. We are seeking success, we are seeking fame, we are seeking prestige, we are seeking money. But all these things are nothing when this eternal fact of life, this eternal truth, death, becomes your deep understanding. When you can imagine it for yourself, when you can perceive this for yourself, that this body is not going to be there anymore, this mind is not going to be there anymore, all your relations, all your identities, all your possessions, everything will just come to an end. There will be a total discontinuity to your sense of self. When this becomes your realization, you choose your actions with great care. You really start looking at life in a new light. Then no one else would have to tell you that people are important, things are not. Then this understanding will arise out of your own being. This is something that you have to experience. Hence, Buddha used to ask his sannyasins before they took sannyas to spend at least 3 months on cremation grounds, so that this eternal truth becomes a part of their deep understanding, so that they can live with this eternal truth of life every single day, with this constant remembrance that this body is not going to be there, this mind is not going to be there. Dust unto dust, it will merge into the earth. People go to all kinds of astrologers, fortune tellers to know their fate. They are seeking some sort of security in their life, something that can be known with assurity. But nothing can be said with assurity in life apart from this fact called death. If you are seeking success in life, then there is a possibility that you might become successful. At the same time, there is a possibility that you might die as a failure. You will never meet success in life. Though you can live with this delusion that one day or the other you will become successful if you are going to pursue success, fame, money, whatever it is. But it is a beautiful delusion. And this delusion is because there are so many talking heads around, so many motivational speakers, so many people who believe in law of attraction telling you that if you believe in it, then you are going to get it. But after that, what is going to be there in your life? Nothing much is going to change. Eventually, you will come to an end. Hence, Buddha is trying to change your focus from the trivial stuff of life to the essential stuff of life. So live with death every single day, because it is something that is assured. Everything else is a fake promise in your life, whether it is success, fame, prestige, fortune, everything that you're seeking. So what can you really do about this thing? How to bring about this change in your life? See, Buddha used to ask his sannyasin to spend at least 3 months. We cannot do such a thing. But we can look at death every single day. Death is actually knocking at your door. You just have to be receptive enough. You just have to be vigilant enough. When you look at a crack in a wall, you are actually looking at death. When you are looking at a dry leaf, you are actually looking at death. And if someone whom you really loved is no more there, you have actually met death. A part of you has also died with that person. So start living with more vigilance in your daily life so that you can live with this constant remembrance that death is going to be there. So that you live with this constant focus that you have to value the essential stuff of life, not the trivial ones. So start clicking pictures of things like, just like I said, a crack on a wall. Post it on the Instagram and write something about it. Write something about death, your own experience, your own outlook on death. Because when you do this thing, instead of just listening about it, instead of reading it somewhere, your understanding and your perspective goes through an expansion. Another thing that we can do is that find out the pictures of people who were there in your life but are no more there, who have passed away. Make a collage of their pictures, and in that picture, put your picture as well. This would be my practical advice, though it sounds very creepy. And put it somewhere in your house where no one can see it. Otherwise, it will freak out a lot of people. And look at that picture every single day. You will find that slowly your whole perspective about life is going through a total change. This is not something that I'm making up. This is something that you have to realize it for yourself. Then you won't care about the trivial things of life, things that are constantly pestering you, things that are constantly making you live under stress. You will get rid of all the burden that you have created for yourself. And it is a created burden. You will realize it. So start practicing this thing. Start living with death every single day. Looking at a dry pond, click a picture, post it on Instagram, Facebook, share it with other people. Start talking about death with other people, and your whole understanding about life will expand. Buddha is actually making it very simple. He is telling you that you too shall pass away. Knowing this, how can you quarrel? Every time you are caught up in the trivial stuff of life, just remember this statement. You too shall pass away. Knowing this, how can you quarrel?